Here come the boys. Y'all ready to go swimming, baby? Come on. Give it up. Get out of that water. I tried telling y'all, it's swim lessons, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Swim Lessons. I'm your host, Dallas Hansen. On today's episode of Swim Lessons, we got a good one, and it's with the state champions from this year's Class B division here in the state of North Dakota. It's head coach of West Hope Newburgh Sioux, Anthony Lee, and one of the best basketball players in the state of North Dakota for hopefully 1 or 2 more years to go, and that's Walker Braaten. The West Hope Newburgh Sioux have had quite the journey to become state champions, and I traveled to the West Hope gym to sit down and see where it was all made possible and how they made this magical run happen. Winning a state championship isn't easy, but this team made it possible. This was a fun interview for me, and I'm excited to see where the Sioux go next year as they have a lot of their starters returning. And I wish them all the best and thank them for the time that they gave me to make sure this interview was done properly. And it was a lot of fun sitting down with Coach Lee and Walker and talking a lot about this run and how much work it took, how much effort it took, and obviously a little bit of luck. But it was cool to hear about their journey firsthand. But before we get to Walker and Coach Lee, we got to talk about PSP Network. It's game day, promoting local student athletes for a long time. Their website is psp.network, or find them on YouTube at PSP Network. Nick Holberg and their crew over there at PSP do a fantastic bang-up job, and make sure you follow them on YouTube, like and subscribe, because they've got a lot of great stuff coming up. Next up is Sports on Tap and Planet Pizza, Minot's best place to have any kind of fun. They've been owned and operated in the Minot area for almost 30 years. The Mueller family has done a fantastic job. Find them on Facebook at Sports on Tap or give them a call at 701-837-8220. The best pizza in North Dakota, Planet Pizza. Next up is Neighborhood Pediatric Therapy. They're located in the central part of Minot, North Dakota, and they're providing speech and therapy services for individuals from birth to age 21. Services range from free screenings, speech and language evaluations, and therapy for a variety of areas, including feeding, language, speech, sounds, and auditory processing. Nailed it. They also accept a wide variety of insurances. You can look them up about more information and find them on their website at www.neighborhoodnd.com or give them a call, 701-837-8877 about any questions you have, and set up an appointment today with Neighborhood Pediatric Therapy. Last but not least is Glasso Angus, a proud sponsor of Swim Lessons. Glasso Angus is your premier source for registered Black Angus cattle since 1973. Glasso Angus cattle showcase dominance, durability, and docility and are built to thrive on the northern plains. Check them out at glassoangus.com. That's Glasoe Angus.com. They always put up some really cool videos on their website, so make sure you check out Glasso Angus. Last but not least, make sure you like, subscribe, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or just YouTube, and leave a comment. And just know I appreciate everybody watching, and this was a fun one. I give you the Class B state champions, West Hope Newburgh Sioux. Hey, welcome in, guys. Appreciate you taking some time here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
How does it feel to be back in the gym? Coach Lee, we'll start with you. You just kind of caught your breath for, 2 weeks off the state championship run. How does it feel to be back?
Feels good. Considering the situation, it still really hasn't sunk in, but yeah, awesome to be back.
Walker, let's ask you now. We're sitting in an area where you've spent a lot of time. How does it feel to come back here and talk about not only being a state champion, but all the hard work that your teammates have done and the success you guys have had? And how does it feel to be back in here and have a chance to talk about that?
Well, I mean, it feels pretty good to be back. And I mean, all of us guys are missing it being in here. I mean, the season felt pretty short, even though it was, as long as it can possibly go.
Yeah.
We enjoy it and miss being in here all the time.
Okay, Anthony, let's start with you. This question is for you.
Sure.
Take me back to 2018. You had some struggling years, 42 straight losses, I believe, if that's correct. I hate to bring that back up again, but I mean, you could write a book on your story from going from 42 straight losses and then you become a state championship fast forward a few years. But take us back to that time, because that couldn't have been easy. There, as a head coach, you lose that much in a row. You've had to question yourself a little bit and doubt yourself a little bit about, hey, is this for me? And what kind of got you through those rough years?
Well, the kids, we've always had great kids here, and how they worked and stuck with it, and that's what got me through it. I think that's what got our program through it, because it was obviously a struggle for our program. People taught co-ops, things like that. Our numbers were low, but just the kids, their work ethic and their attitudes, that was great.
So then, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, but Walker was an 8th grader, and you brought him up and a few other kids? Is that how it went?
His 7th grade year.
7th grade year.
Yep.
Okay, now Walker, you're a 7th grader. You're coming into a program that struggled. You obviously love Coach. What was your mindset and your teammates' mindset as you tried to turn this program around?
We tried to get one win somewhere in the season. It didn't come as early as we thought it would, but it came in the second to last game of our regular season, my 7th grade year. So, winning that game was, it brought so much excitement to us all, even though, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It was for the program, but, it was very exciting for us all. And, it was like winning a championship for us. It brought a lot of happiness to us, and it motivated us even more to win more games.
What was the thought process like, Coach, when you're thinking about bringing up a 7th grader like Walker? What were your thoughts? Did you have backlash? Did you have people say, no, get him up there? What was going on?
There was no backlash. He was only 5'4" then. I think I had him listed
No
at
kidding?
5'4" his
Oh,
7th
that's
grade
awesome.
year, and the talent obviously was there, but he was small. First thing I did before the season, I called his dad, and his dad was totally on board with it. I think he was excited.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we brought him up when we did.
So a little known fact too, Coach Lee, you're actually the offensive coordinator for the football team, right? And Walker, your quarterback.
Yep.
Now, obviously, we're talking about Walker getting older and all the teammates getting older, but what's it like to not only, Walker, have Coach Lee be your head coach who you're close with in basketball, but he's your OC now in football? What's that like? Take us through that.
No, it's awesome. I love him, and he does everything for us, and he coaches us so well to get our best out of everyone. So it's something special, and not a lot of schools have a guy like that who will coach multiple sports and be with you all the time. So
yeah, it's got to be, and you guys have been very successful. We're now, when this comes out this upcoming Friday, 9-man football next year is wide open. So West Hope not only could see a basketball championship, but a football championship. And Coach Lee, talk a little bit about the football program here and what they've got going.
Well, we're excited. Got knocked off in the semis this year. We got a lot back. And these kids, they've put in so much time on the court, on the field, in the weight room. And it's the payoff's really starting to show up, and we're real excited for this football season.
Walker, do you have any preference when it comes to football or basketball when you're thinking next level, like college?
I'm stuck in the middle of them both, but I've thought football, I've thought basketball, but I've had a lot more interest in football than I have basketball. But it's that time of the year where basketball coaches can't really reach out to you. So football is definitely on my top of the list right now, but we'll see how the summer goes for me, and it's going to be a tough decision in the end.
What a tough decision, huh, Coach Lee? You're wanted so many places. Let's go back to basketball, though. That's why we're here to talk today. Coach Lee, this question's for you. Going into the season, a lot of expectations. Last year, you thought things would go a little bit different. Didn't. Coming into this year, 2023, 2024, how did you manage those expectations going in with the team and as you got into the season?
Well, we knew what was expected. We knew we'd be right there, but our big thing every day was just be a good teammate and get better every single day, and give your best effort every day. And those guys did that, and we didn't have a lot of close games early, but they knew every practice, every game that we had to keep getting better to get that end goal. Walker,
what were your thoughts coming into the season here?
Well, last year, it ended with a heartbreak with us.
Yeah.
First round of regionals, it all made us even more motivated for this year.
More hungry, if you will, like summer workouts, you were probably thinking about that.
Yep, team camps and all that. The start of the year this year, all the guys were excited to get in the gym. They were all pumped to play in the first game, and we were all ready to go by that first game. So it was exciting.
Walker, you have an interesting thing with your playing style. It's watching the state tournament and seeing the run you guys went on to the championship. The MVP wasn't you. It was remind me of your point guard, the kid that got it.
Braden Bailey.
Yep. It was Bailey who played outstanding.
Yep.
And talk a little bit, Walker, about your teammates, because it's not just a one-man show. This is 3-4. You guys can score at any time. How good of a feeling is that to be kind of the leader of the team, but also know, hey, if I'm struggling a little bit, I can dish the rock and get these guys involved.
It's a great feeling. I mean, a lot of the teams just like worry about me, but there's 4 other guys on the court that will make open shots. They'll get wide open layups. I mean, it's not just me that gets all the points. So, it comes from all the little things with our press. I mean, all the turnovers. I mean, a lot of the stuff we run is like motion and get like open shots as fast as we can. So, it's a special group of guys that I've been playing with for 3 years now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be a good feeling. Coach Lee, we were talking about this kind of prior to the podcast about Coach Wilhelm and Bismarck and how they do the run and jump press. When did you adapt that style, and how has that been going?
I think we actually started Walker's 8th grade year. We actually started dribble drive motion, so that's kind of our core offense there. Okay. Take a lot of the strategies that we run from that. Then our defense, I believe we put in his freshman year, right? Our press. And yeah, it's fun. Our kids embrace it. They work their tails off doing it, and I think it helps us score a lot of points. And in games where we don't press, say if the score's a little lopsided or something like that, we are definitely not the same team.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Did you catch anything from the outside looking in, like people like, why are we doing this? We're a Class B team. We don't have that much depth. Why are we throwing a press?
A little bit. But then I think once people watch these kids play, that's their style. They want to get up and down. They want to score a lot of points, and I think it makes it. I think it's more fun for the kids playing that style.
What's it like to have a roster like you have, Coach? Not only like we just talked to Walker about, but an offense, a team that you can rely on, overcame a lot of adversity this year, especially in the state tournament. What's it been like to coach this great group of kids?
Oh, real special. We set some pretty big goals when our core guys were freshmen and sophomores, and just the work they put in and everything they've earned everything they've won, they've earned it through their hard work and just how they are together. This group, they love each other, and it's really something special to see and be a part of.
What are practices like, Coach, here in West Hope?
They're intense. They're a lot shorter than they used to be earlier in my career. We try to get out of here in an hour and a half. A lot of individual work right away, and then it's up and down. If we're putting in a set, we'll just go here, there, back. We'll work on our set and get into our transition defense and transition offense off of that. So it's we play quite a bit up and down, and that's something we kind of went to these last 2 years.
Well, Coach Lee, you're the interesting case where you grew up. You're an alma mater. Now you get to coach at your alma mater. What did it mean to you to bring back a state title to your hometown? I mean, that had to have been a special, fantastic feeling.
Oh, yeah. Something I've dreamed about since I was a kid. I mean, first it was trying to earn one playing, but obviously that didn't work out. So coaching, I guess, is the next best to that, and just really proud. This community means a lot to me. That's one of the big reasons I'm here, and I really hope I get to watch my boys play here when they're older. Yeah,
okay, that's a good segue into this next part, Walker. The first couple games, you guys are doing pretty good all throughout the season. Take us through kind of what your mindset was, your teammates' mindset as you went through this season, moving on to state.
Take it one game at a time. I mean, once we got to tournament play, it was survive and advance. It didn't matter how it was done, but if it wasn't pretty, then it didn't matter in the end if we won. So, it was just one of those seasons where we worked as hard as we possibly could, and it came out very successful for us.
And we were just talking about this to both of you guys, the travel with the new 3-class system. As a Class B team, you guys got to travel quite a bit. Newtown was where the regional tournament was. Fantastic facility. Yep. Coach Lee, you had this, well, it's a rivalry with Bishop Bryan. They're obviously on your radar. You guys had a couple great epic battles. Regional championship. Take me through what was going through mindset as a coach.
Well, I was confident. We've been first 2 games of regionals. We played really well. We shot the ball well. We lost to them by 3 points and 2 points earlier 2 meetings. We made a couple slight adjustments, and then when you got a guy like this scoring 42 points in that game,
championship. Yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, when you have a guy like that to begin with, that's something special. And it's, I mean, it didn't surprise me one bit of his performance, but I knew our kids were hungry. And yeah, it was a great 32 minutes that night.
Walker, Bishop Bryan, that's your arch rival. What was the regional championship like for you?
It was a wild experience. I mean, Newtown.
42 points, buddy. That's a lot.
It is. I mean,
well, I didn't get to watch the game. What was the stat line like first half? Did you have quite a few, or?
Well, I think he missed his first 4.
No kidding.
And I was a little worried.
I think,
no kidding.
I think I had like 14 in the first, 14 or 19. It was something like that. My third quarter was huge. I think I had like 19 points in that quarter. So, it was an intense game. Bishop Bryan's a really good team. I mean, they lost one senior, so I mean, they're going to be hungry for us next year. And, it's going to be a fun matchup for the whole season next year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Walker, no matter which way you cut it, you got younger kids all around the state that look up to you. One thing that's important about basketball is when you do miss the first couple shots, the coaches always say, Coach Lee, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but to kind of have a goldfish memory. Next one's going in. Next one's going in. Is that what your mindset was when your game wasn't necessarily at the top when you started that game, or what were you thinking?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those mindsets. I mean, you just got to let it fly. If you don't shoot it, it's not going in. So, I mean, like, it takes a toll on your mental game in that game. Missing the first couple of shots is hard on a guy, and then but you just got to keep moving forward off of that, and next one's gonna go in. And that game, those first shots I didn't miss by much, so I was like, well, one of these has got to go in soon. So, and then I just got hot from the 3 and felt like everything was going in.
Yeah, heck yeah. So then you were telling me before the pod, Coach, that you guys got back here at 2 a.m. to 3
a.m. championship night. Yep.
I stopped in mine. I got some food, but take me back to the locker room. Take your mind to the locker room after you just won the regional championship, and what were the vibes like?
Oh, it was wild.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a lot of wild. It was. I got a shower. Let's just say that.
That's awesome. Yep. Something that you'll forever remember, probably.
Oh, for sure.
Walker,
for sure.
What were your thoughts when you won it?
Well, we had lots of emotion in the locker room. I mean, we knew that, the job wasn't finished quite yet. So
yeah, we
had another step to do and climb that mountain and play in the state tournament. And it showed what we did in the state tournament. It was awesome. That locker room was excited, but we knew we had a job to do.
So now, Coach, you get to state. And obviously you talked about goals prior to wanting to make a state tournament run. You get there. How did you manage the team, like to kind of ignore the outside distractions? Hey, we got to keep to our game. We're going to the Dome. This is a big deal. West Hope, Newburgh is kind of some small towns. This is a big deal for everybody. How do you keep the emotions in check, and how do you yourself make sure you manage this team to a state tournament?
Well, I talked to some former coaches who have coached in that tournament to try to get a little advice, and they all kind of told me the same thing. Well, we really didn't do anything special.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little worried staying in a hotel. Boys will be boys, but these guys, they were focused. I was very impressed with that. The very first day we played the 2:30 game, and I told them the bus will take you guys back tonight if any of you want to go. And no, they were beat, and they were ready to focus on that next game.
Walker, how was that first game at the state tournament? Obviously, it was a close, tight one.
Yeah.
Take us there.
That game was definitely the most nerve-wracking.
Really?
It might not sound like, playing in the state championship was, I was nervous in that game too, but I was definitely more nervous that first game because that's the most important one of the tournament is getting by that one. And, every team has nerves in that game. It's probably, every team says it's the hardest game that they play in. So because of the nerves, it's crazy.
So then you obviously win that game. You move on to the semifinals. Coach, you had to play still in the afternoon because of the TV schedule this year with everything going on. TV schedule, you had to play in the afternoon, so it's broadcasted live throughout the state. What was your thoughts going into that one?
Well, I was glad we played in the afternoon on Thursday. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bowman, tons of respect for them. Those kids play hard. They have athletes, and it was one, and they match up well with us. It was one. I knew we'd have to do something special and play really well to win. And through the first three, it wasn't looking good.
And just so you guys know, I was in Dickinson at the coaching clinic that I was just telling you guys about. Did a few pods down there. Everybody was glued to their phones watching you guys and Bowman. Like they were, and down there they were going for Bowman, but I was going for you guys. Yeah. But it came down to the last couple minutes, and you guys hit a dagger to go ahead, and you went up by 4. Walker, what were you thinking when your teammates hit some big shots down the lane?
I was really excited. Bowman plays like pretty much like us, and I feel bad for the refs because it was such a fast-paced game. Yeah. So I bet they were dog-tired by the end of the game. But that fourth quarter was something special for us. We overcame a lot of adversity, down 15 points, and we just battled, and we just made as many shots as possible. That's all you can do. There's no 15-shot bucket like Coach Lee said in one of the huddles. So
I like that. When did he say that?
I think, was it the start of the fourth quarter?
Yep.
Yeah. So we just had to chip away, and we did that, and it was an awesome game to be a part of. Like a stop mentality almost when you're at that point. Yeah, pretty much. So we got a lot of steals, a lot of N1 buckets towards the end there. So it was special.
Yeah, 100%. Now we get to talk about the big one, state championship. This is big. The Class B is the mecca of basketball. When you talk about North Dakota, there's a couple other great tournaments, but everybody watches the B. Everybody loves a small town story. Coach Lee, take us into the locker room. Take your mind right now into the locker room before the starting lineups, before the smoke comes on, before the lights go off. What's it like, and what are you saying to your kids going into the state championship?
Well, I told them to enjoy it. I said, all the pressure's off now. You're here, and that's what it's all about. And I could tell they were confident, and it was really good to see. In a locker room before our postseason run, you could tell first round of districts, we weren't too confident. They had some self-doubt, and but going into that game, it was a confident group, and it made me feel real good.
Walker, take me right now into your mind. You're being announced in front of the whole state on TV. There's a sellout crowd at the Dome. Lights are off, smoke's going. They got the entrance music. What's going on, man?
Well, you really get the goosebumps, and it really gets your blood flowing. But having the same thing in Newtown where they shut the lights off, and we had the same introductions, it took a lot of the pressure off. It took some of the nerves off because we already did that in Newtown. Mm-hmm. So that's once in a lifetime deal that most kids only get to see once, and to be a part of that, it was something special, and I definitely won't ever forget that.
Tip off, Coach, your heart must have been racing a little bit. Like I just got done saying to Walker, it's there's a lot going on. What was your thoughts as the ball was thrown up in the air and the state championship started?
I really don't remember. I was excited and just really proud of these guys, and it's a game that I'll remember forever, and I think everybody in these two communities will as well.
Offensive philosophy going into the state championship, what were your thoughts, and how did you think you could exploit their defense?
Well, we knew they would be hanging all over Walker, doing what they can to not let him get the ball, and I actually told my team this in our shoot-around that day. I said, or the night before, I think at our team meeting, I said, I don't think they have anybody that can stay in front of Braaten, so I don't know what they're going to do there, and but our game plan, it it doesn't change. We want to attack the rim and shoot wide open threes, and that's what we did. I think they slowed us down a little bit, but I think we only got 45 shots up that game, which has to be our season low. But our kids executed well, and defensively we changed our philosophy a little bit halfway through that game.
Take us through it. Walker, what were your thoughts as the ball went up? And it was kind of a weird game of different ebbs and flows, if you will. I mean, you went up for that one layup, landed on your back.
Yeah.
When you landed on your back, I was watching on TV, it looked like it was a horrible, horrible shot on the ground. Were you like, oh man, I'm really hurt? Or what was going through your mind when you took that injury?
No, I didn't really process much, but I was in a lot of pain. So I mean, I shot the free throw, and then I think Lee subbed me out, and I had someone come look at it. I didn't really know what was wrong, and I was sitting there on the bench just thinking, like, I wish I could be out there right now, but I could barely move.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I went back out there, I ran through the tunnel, and the place just erupted again, and it gave me goosebumps once again. So North Star is a great team, and it was a fun game to play against them. We sped them up, and we like to play fast. So I mean, when teams play slow, it's hard for them to get what they want when we're pressing full court, and we're just so petty on defense, and it's fun.
How good of a feeling was it, Walker, to see your teammates while you were hurt, and obviously you wanted to be out there, but they kind of took it over? And they made some big shot after big shot, and the Bailey kid played well. And what was your mindset and feeling when you saw that?
No, I was happy for him.
Yeah.
I couldn't be even more happy for them. It's something special for them. I mean, I wish I was out there, like I said, but I mean, they came up big when they needed to, and it was fun to see.
Okay, Coach. The final horn hits it. You guys are state champs. You're running out on the court. You got friends, family, former coaches coming up to you. What were you thinking?
I kind of took a moment to myself and just watched these guys and their fellow students, then also their friends from all over celebrating in that middle of the floor. It was I was breaking down a little bit.
Yeah, I know. And Walker, you're state champion. Looking back on it now, it's about two weeks old since the moment happened, but what were you thinking?
No, it was an awesome feeling. I mean, I'm pretty sure West Open, Newburgh had no one left in the town.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone was at the Dome. I had a bunch of friends. My friends had a bunch of friends there. So, there was a lot of people cheering for us. It was loud in there.
Yeah.
And once that final buzzer went off, it was... I just didn't think much of it. It really hadn't hit me yet. And then, I mean, it really still hasn't. And then, it's just great.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit outside, but your mom and dad were great athletes, Walker. And what did your parents say to you when after it was all done?
They were really excited for me. I mean, my brother's been close for football. They lost in the state championship twice. He lost in regionals. My oldest sister lost in regionals in the region championship. So, all my siblings were happy for me, but this adds something for me to brag to them in about 15 years. So it's awesome.
Coach Lee, this one's for you. Doing some intel and some info before we did this interview, talking to different people. The city is small and it's a tight-knit group. And there's been some tragedies that have happened, with your assistant coach and some family of his and some other people around, unfortunately passing away. The Class B is bigger than sports almost. It's like it kind of brought this city and everything back together and something to root for that was positive. What did it mean for you to kind of go through all those tragedies years past and leading up to this? How big of a moment was it for you?
Oh, big. Couple of those tragedies, they were two of my closest friends, and they were big support to me, good times and bad, and they were two guys I could always count on, and they're two special people to me that I think about during that Star Spangled Banner every time it's playing before every game. So it's big, and I know they would be so proud of this team and proud of me as well.
Well, appreciate you sharing that. I know it wasn't probably easy, but believe it or not, we've been going at this for 26 minutes. We got 2 segments left. One of them is called 10 for 10, and I'm going to do that with you, Walker, okay?
All right.
So you remember my name is Dallas, right?
Yep.
Okay, so these are 10 questions. You got to answer them as quick as possible. There's no right or wrong answer. So are you ready?
Yep.
So 10 for 10 with Walker Braaten, and away we go. Cat or dog?
Dog.
Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger.
Palm trees or evergreen trees?
Palm trees.
Lake or ocean?
Lake.
Favorite actor or actress?
I don't know.
Pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite band or rap artist?
Lil Baby.
What city in Texas has an NBA mascot nicknamed the Mavericks?
Pass.
Okay. What city in Texas has an NFL team nicknamed the Cowboys?
Dallas.
What city in Texas spelled backwards reads salad?
Dallas.
Who is your favorite podcaster and new buddy?
Dallas.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Coach Anthony Lee, state championship coach, leave us with something. Swim Lessons is a podcast about overcoming tough times. You just mentioned kind of overcoming some tough stuff. But what is something that you say to yourself when the chips are kind of against you and you got to overcome some tough obstacles that life brings?
Just keep going. Keep going. Every day is a new day, and try to win that day.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys doing this. Hey, you gonna run it back?
That's the plan.
That's the plan?
Yeah.
Walker, I know you're going on a few different visits. Is there anything you can share that maybe some people in North Dakota would like to hear? I know they're always interested in what you're going to do after next year. You're just now going into your year, but what are some things that are happening?
Well, this weekend I got some visits to Minneapolis. I go to Grand Forks. I go to K-State. Last weekend, or this previous weekend, I was in Wyoming. So, I've kind of traveled all over. So, I mean, it's special. I mean, I couldn't be happier with how it's going right now. And, time will tell what happens. So.
Well, listen, guys, congratulations on the state championship. It means a lot to see a small town like West Hope, Newburgh, small towns, if you will, to win the state. And again, congratulations, and wish you guys the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. That's a wrap.